So the Rodian.
Well, what do we have here? We're starting a new vidcast here. It just so happens that my best friend is here, who is also a G.I. Joe collector. And we're talking about... So from Retro to Right Now, let's get into it real quick. What we're calling from Retro to Right Now vidcast is going to be us talking about specific vintage toys. It's on you. Oh. I just did it on you. I haven't been on you the whole time.
Okay, all right.
So I'm going to go around. We're going to be talking about different vintage... And new. That's the whole point. From retro to right now, it's just stuff we think is cool or interesting. Sometimes rare, sometimes worth a lot of money. Sometimes not worth a lot of money, but just interesting and cool or hard to find.
Yeah. But we are going to be speaking about specific things, hence the From Retro to Right Now title.
So we're going to talk about comics, toys, video games, whatever strikes our fancy that we want to talk about in the store. You know, we let Andrew with Fridays when Andrew ran about comics, right? So we're going to talk about the stuff we love. And we're going to do it on a weekly basis.
And really with a focus on things that you don't see every day. Like, for example, right now my brother's been banging every Walmart in town trying to find Thanos. If we got one, we're going to show them to you. We're going to let you see them. Things that are rare. Penelope's, Milo. We want to focus on some girl stuff.
We're going to have an episode about
My Little Ponies.
So keep your eyes peeled.
World War II collectibles, maybe.
Yeah. So
They'll go well in the store.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to open with a bang, and this is a bang. And so Justin, I'm going to let you. You and Kerry are the Joe guys. Why don't you explain what we're looking at?
You want to hold this? You want this?
Sure. Yeah.
So, Kerry got me back into G.I. Joe collecting back in like 2007, 2008.
The 25th stuff.
The 25th stuff, but Kerry was collecting vintage and reintroduced me to vintage and had the book. I've told the story before. He had the Joe book, and we were like secretly like testing each other, like, oh, this is cool, right? Yeah, this is cool. We were like,
Yeah.
So, long story short,
Different people at the time.
Yeah.
Much different.
Then we fully embraced it, and this stuff we found at a different toy store years ago, and it is just the rarest of the rare G.I. Joe stuff,
and most desirable.
Let's get it.
Right?
Well, I don't know about most desirable to specific collectors.
Right.
I think the flag is probably the most desirable.
I think
this is the deep track right here.
Yeah,
this is the deep cut.
right here.
Speaking of the flag, I love that there's just a flag in the corner with a hoodie just sitting on top of it. Like,
everyone's up there.
I know.
Yeah,
it's a
there's
weird
just
thing
like-
to say. There's a flag in the way.
Yeah.
Like, that's just.
Yeah.
there's just a
That's what happens
flag.
here. We got flags in the
There's a
way.
flag in the way of the nicer flag in front of all this stuff. Okay, go ahead.
I just want to throw something out to either one of you. This stuff is rare for one specific reason.
Yes.
Because this is a unique collection, and probably the only time we're ever going to have it again like this.
It's rare because of that.
These
what is
items
that,
are
Sarah? What is
Sears.
that?
Oh, these are all the Sears exclusives. I mean, starting up top there with the very first G.I. Joe Missile Command headquarters, man. 1982. Came out in Sears. Was the first big thing that G.I. Joe ever did. All out of cardboard.
All out of card. Now
All
that
cardboard.
right there.
Let's show the back. People don't get a
Three
lot of-
figures that came with a trooper, an officer, and Cobra Commander. Oh, no, it came with two officers, right? Or two troopers and an officer.
A trooper, an officer, and Cobra Commander.
Commander,
Yeah, one
yeah.
of each Cobra from the time.
Yep.
The thing about this, there's a couple things about this. The fact that it was cardboard, they didn't last because the thing is made of cardboard. The other thing is, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them came with the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander.
Yeah, that was
Which is
true.
an
yeah.
early edition variant.
The paint job wasn't quite nailed on the stamp.
Yep, it was just.
So his
there.
chest for the Cobra symbol ended up looking kind of like a Mickey Mouse. So he got the nickname Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander. Now he's like the most sought after Cobra Commander. G.I. Joes at this time were still straight arms.
They weren't even sure if it was going to go.
Right.
That's why they made it out of cardboard. They didn't know what
This
to
one
do with it.
specifically, you want to talk about getting.
Yeah, let's talk about. Well, let's throw a quick shout out. Justin bought this years ago from
Ed Rent's Lost
Raiders of the Lost Toys.
Yeah,
Ed's a great hunter. He knows I'm a G.I. Joe collector. He called us one day and said, "Hey, what do you think this is worth?" And I said, "I'm going to come buy it from you right now. That's what it's worth."
and I yelled at him. I yelled at him.
Glassboro now? He's
He
set up
left
in
me out of
Glassboro,
that.
correct?
He's set up in the antique
Mulligan Hill.
Mulligan Hill,
Yeah,
okay.
Mulligan
Mulligan Hill.
Oh, will you look at that?
Will
you look
In the toy world, this is what's
at
called
that.
unpunched.
Right.
Will you look?
Now, when you first bought
at
this thing, you would
that?
pop it out and set it up and fold it
Why
together.
don't we do that?
No. Yeah, let's get on it.
Let's do
I'm
that.
ready.
These are all original. You're not looking at repops. This is the way this what was wrong with this kid? What was wrong with
Well,
this
you
kid?
know, maybe it
find
was
out
a
there was
story.
sealed.
Yeah,
What
maybe it
was
was
wrong
the
with
same
that
story.
kid?
Well, we
Yeah.
know the story behind that.
Yeah.
His neighbor got one, and the dads put that one together and not his. His went right back up in the attic.
Right. Look at how could you
Yeah.
You
not
can tell,
like
look at the artwork. I mean, at the time, I mean, we were all about. I mean, this is just that era. That just the tunnel with the shadows of the guys, underground bunker, everything going on with space. I mean, you're right around the time when NASA was. Just
Space shuttles were.
Yeah.
Like if you just look at the control room, just NASA was so popular right then and there, and also so was the military at that point in
Yes.
time. I mean, you really have to think.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
was the Reagan era.
it really was.
Yeah.
I mean, so this is just
How
man,
gorgeous.
It's just a great time.
This is-
So these look like they were originally watercolor paintings. I'm just going to go on a
They
limb.
really do look like that. I mean,
And
they
they're
probably
absolutely beautiful. I can't. Wow.
So yeah, you'd pop these out and fold all these tabs. So when you see this normally, it's put together, but usually really flimsy. Cardboard doesn't last. You know, it's usually very flimsy,
And it-
very.
and it got played with.
worn,
You
it
know
got
what?
played
No,
with,
you're
right.
probably right. These probably were a wood or pencil. It was probably when you draw with the
Yeah,
the
that's
pencil
what I'm
and
saying.
wipe over with
Especially on
water.
the backdrop.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's definitely what
They
I'm
used to
saying.
do a lot
the
of the
backdrop.
watercolors though, is behind cartoons
Yes.
and stuff. So a lot of the
A lot of
artists
it.
at that time were really good at that.
Yeah,
kind
look
of
at
stuff, 'cause
this.
That was
This
always
is-
the background
This looks watercolor
of any
blotching.
Definitely, yeah.
What are the
It's like a wash.
Yeah, you
cells?
can see it here.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely
all
right
the
around here.
cells from a
Especially in
cartoon,
here,
I
you
mean,
can really see that watercolor
Well,
action going on
you
there.
know one thing that this, and I'm going to use a turtle tip. This oozes of. It oozes of something that I think are missing in today a little bit. This oozes of childhood imagination. Because here's a piece of cardboard with nothing but pictures on it. But if I was 10, 12, 13 years old and this showed up under my Christmas tree, this is hours and hours
oh yeah,
of unlimited fun. Right?
Oh,
I mean, and that's this is from the golden age of action figures, and here's why.
because now you have an underground missile
Yeah, man.
bunker that you don't have to imagine.
It's
You can
there.
sit
You
and
didn't
just
get
play.
yes.
on this thing.
Yeah,
Let's
I
see
mean,
what it looks like set up.
Yeah,
there.
let's take a look at
So
that.
that's the background. These things would have folded together
I mean,
and
yeah.
become 3D.
And some of it even
Shit,
worked.
man.
It had an elevator that goes up and down.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait.
and the missile itself would go up and down.
And let's talk about that because who did it before this? Star Wars did this.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And they did some Sears stuff, but Star Wars did cardboard play sets
Yep.
with
Imagination.
plastic elevators,
Yep.
right? And Sears, this isn't the first time Sears did any exclusives, even with G.I. Joe stuff.
Oh, back into
they
the
did
60s.
60s
Is there anything in
exclusives. The instructions.
Okay, so we don't need to go into that right now. Okay, great. All right, this came with it, Justin. I think we should show this a little
File
bit.
card
right?
holder.
yeah,
file cards?
Yeah,
holder.
it,
There you go.
it came with this. Now we have the figures; they're just not in there.
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not sealed in their bags or anything. Like
Right.
That. We still have them.
So the kid took the figures out, played with them, and left the unit.
And just said, "Oh, I'm not going to play with this."
Well,
I mean, in their defense, it's cardboard.
well, in their defense, it's cardboard.
Yeah,
I know.
I got nothing on that.
So I'm going to put that over there, and it came with a file card holder. I got to ask you guys a question because I'm not a Joe expert. I'm a guy who knows Joes enough to buy and sell them, and you guys collected them and lived them. Of these Sears pieces, not the most valuable, probably not the rarest of what we're looking at, or is it? Am I wrong? Is this the rarest of the Sears items?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the most expensive?
Yeah.
So it's the rarest. It's the most
It's the
expensive.
first of them. It's made of cardboard. You know, even so, boxes are rare in themselves.
It's the first time they had any real big guns. They brought
And this
out.
is the big
Yeah.
guns.
First time they did it.
Yeah, this is
And
before the headquarters.
it is,
right?
and it's before they allowed it to the masses. It was only given to Sears only around Christmas.
And that
time.
tells you how big Sears was still in '82. They were still a force to be reckoned with.
If you were a
Oh,
kid,
no
you had
doubt.
to get this then, and that's it.
And that was it.
You had one shot, 1 year. I mean,
Now, what year-wise? This is '82, guys.
82,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think
What's
Christmas
the next?
82, probably.
Do we know what the next release is? Do we know? Because we've got.
It might be this.
probably.
I would assume it's
yeah,
this.
more than likely. I'm sure that's
Not the
83 or
Mobat,
84. I'm not.
No, it got later with these.
Okay, all right,
yeah, and
cool.
then the Dreadnoks were probably the last.
Yeah.
I think.
They definitely touch on that later color too. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, so let's show them the second
Yeah,
one.
what's
Justin.
next?
What is next?
Well, this is an assumption, but I'm assuming it's going to be this because this is still the early vehicles.
Okay.
And these are two vehicles that came separately initially that Sears packaged together I would think this is probably 83.
It's got to
Right.
be, yeah.
It's early.
I'm certain
It's
it's
early.
83.
These are two vehicles that were 82 Joe, two of the original
Definitely
Joe
83,
vehicles. The
84. I
van
mean, what are they? The mutts
and
in
the
the
Hal.
front there, and who else is that? Who's that? Outback?
Recondo.
Recondo, yeah.
So they were 84 guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so this might be an 84.
Yeah,
Anybody
probably.
knows, we'd love to know.
Yeah, throw them or in the comments.
Into the comments, we'd love to know. This is probably the least set that, not being a Joe guy, that I found. This is the least exciting.
Do you know why it's probably least desirable? The box is awesome. I got to say, the box.
box.
Nothing is cooler than the G.I. Joe box.
No.
But it's just the same vehicle.
I was going to say, it's
again.
actually,
My childhood.
it's one of my favorites.
Okay, why?
It really
Ken?
is one of my favorites. Because it has got everything that you want. It's the vamp. All right, first off,
Which is iconic.
it is like the Humvee is for us today. It's G.I. Joe vehicle. Not only does it have the vamp, carrying a big ass cannon behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I wonder if this is the same
I mean,
box art as the
how?
vamp, and they just added these two guys instead of Clutch.
I don't
No,
think
G.I.
so.
Joe did that a lot.
Yeah.
They would reuse the same
Yeah,
painting.
I'm not really
and paint
sure.
over.
And just add in.
Yeah, like the Night Force. It was the same painting of the Sky Striker. They just repainted it black.
But I mean,
Right.
this right there gave you your own little station. Like it had a vehicle that you could drive around, and then also
Unload the gun.
a gun that could be stationary with a little seat on it that somebody could hang out with, maybe like a little reconnaissance with your vamp. I mean, it's such a cool idea to just have two of the. That's like just a standard,
Lot of
solid. Yes, that's a good idea.
One thing about the Sears stuff that's very different than all the other G.I. Joe vehicles, they didn't come with any. Other than this, they didn't come with any figures.
Right.
And
Yeah,
every
yeah.
other G.I. Joe vehicle came with figures.
Well,
Yeah.
Let's see the back of the box.
Now here's
I just
another
wanna get
thing
really
that I
into
noticed. Not being when we were sitting here setting this up.
Uncut flag points.
Wow. Yeah, mine. I have one with cut flag points. One of the things I wanted to point out, not being a Joe guy, that I did notice, they're doing these exclusive for Sears, and we're going to see why in the next couple pieces, why they're exclusive. But they're pretty much just rehashing old molds into unique colors.
Sure.
Well, that's a
to save
Hasbro.
money.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
a Hasbro
right.
move.
Well, right, it's been a Hasbro
Yeah,
move.
look at
They
the My
did it
Little
in the
Pony
60s.
toy line.
They're
Yeah.
doing it here
It's a
again.
great move.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. You know,
Great
hey, you
move.
can only get this together at
Yeah.
Sears. Probably was in the
Even
catalog.
to modern day with exclusive
Yep.
pops at Hot Topic.
They paint them
It's the
different.
same pop.
Right.
It's
So
just
Yeah.
it's all the same. Only the names have changed.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you, Bon Jovi.
All right. Let's go with one of my favorites. All right. If you don't, or
Sure.
is-
Another
Yeah, one of
set
my
of two
Yeah,
things
look
that came
at
out
here's
before.
the Battle Force, man.
Which again, it's the standard
That's
HIFS
awesome.
thing, but
Yeah.
it's the standard vehicle, and then to come with a red MMS,
is
or SMS,
this might be-
yeah.
Yeah, minis are all the same time because they are. No, this is a little later than.
Well, let's talk
I think
about
it is
this.
too.
What's why here? Let's show the actual one. We have the back piece in there.
It's
It's not
inside,
going to pull it. Let's tell everybody who doesn't know, either one of you, why is this unique? Why is this different than every other one?
It's red.
It's red. So the color, right? That's the only. Was this the only place to get it until the 25th reissue
Oh yeah.
in red?
Oh, no, they did another one. Remember the Dirty Tracks in like the early 2000s.
Oh,
yeah,
that
that was,
era,
yeah,
yeah.
that was they
They've
redid that.
reused this History mold
Over
a million
Yeah,
times.
I was gonna say there
But
is a
this
red
is-
one that came out.
Yeah, it
in-
was the Crimson.
yeah, sometime in the 2000s.
Okay.
But this is the
You're
exact
talking
same
vintage
mold.
stuff. I
Here's
don't throw that
something
in there.
I know as a Joe guy. The guns are staying in place,
Yes.
which
Yeah,
means
that's
Justin went through 5 of them. Right?
I think that was like that, wasn't it?
Really?
I thought it was.
Wow. Because to find that,
Yeah.
usually these guns are worn from the child or
Yeah.
kid playing with it.
This
And
was
they-
one of Kerry's pieces,
Okay.
so he knows it better than I do.
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say,
that was mint,
it's-
right?
Yep.
Wow.
These, most of these two, and then
some
the
of the
Dreadnok
other
ones,
stuff.
were original owner. The guy bought them, opened them, put the stickers on them, put them back in the boxes, and put them away.
Wow.
Never played with them.
It was an adult collector
Yeah.
at the time. At the time when this was new stuff, which we have
Yes.
today. I
Right.
mean,
And-
everybody who collects. I mean, you see them now.
Well,
it's all
let's
new
go through
things,
that.
the new
There
stuff.
was an error when opening a box didn't devalue it. Sealed is only something very relative to the internet.
Yeah.
Um,
Nobody back then knew boxes were going to be worth anything.
Well, true
What
story.
do you think
John
about it?
Amatuzio
Um,
got a collection of Star Wars.
We actually have a question from Nico. Was this only released in Canada?
No.
so this is very
Nico
very
from the
similar.
comics? NICO?
An IKO.
This is very similar
Comic
to the.
Nico. What's up, buddy?
This is very similar to the Canadian exclusive. But the Canadian exclusive had a different mold. It was the Vamp
Yeah.
2 mold.
With a shovel on it.
Oh, so
And it had a
too.
shovel.
It wasn't
here.
the same year.
No.
Oh,
No,
they,
it wasn't.
And it might even
might
be
have been-
it might even be a shade darker, the Canadian ones.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but yeah,
And the Canadian one, I think, actually says
yeah, it might
Canadian
be.
on it.
It might say something in French. I mean,
It's
I'm
not
sure.
called this. It's called something else, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not up to the.
The
Les Vamps.
Canadian one is very rare.
Yeah, I'm not.
We don't
up to
have
it
that.
much.
Yeah. We're just focusing on the Sears stuff. The Canadian was exclusive to Canadian toy stores, I believe. So.
Yeah, and the Canadian one is a pacifist version. It has no weapons.
Frank, I'm not.
No, that's a good thing.
I'm off you.
course.
It came with complimentary maple syrup. Yeah, hilarious, you guys. All right.
Bacon. Anyway, how many jokes can we make?
Yeah. What was John Candy?
He was referring to the Red Hiss. Is that a Canadian exclusive?
No.
No, not at all.
that's-
No
that's
Canadian
Sears.
exclusives.
Everything we're
Sears.
talking about right now is
Yeah.
all Sears.
U.S.
Yeah.
Sears.
Yes.
Yes. We a Canadian version of this that I know of has never been found.
Oh, I don't
Right.
believe so.
No. It was because it would have been U.S.
Yeah.
distribution.
But they've made a lot of different versions of the Red Hiss, and they've used this mold a million times. There may be a Canadian Hiss,
But no-
I know there are convention
Yeah,
hisses.
I'm not up to it.
They only
enough
did it
to know.
conventions.
They do.
Then they redid it in the 2000s. But it looked like this, but it had dirty tracks.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
it was Crimson Guard.
Was
Yeah.
that part of the convention set that year?
No.
the
No, it
Fuchsia?
wasn't.
It was
That
that
was
Toys R Us line.
Yes.
Yes.
It's called DTC,
Yeah,
Direct to
it's
Consumer. It was a Toys R Us.
subpar quality on that. And a lot of that
A lot
line.
of cool vehicles came out of that line.
Yeah.
But the figures were subpar. Is that fair? They were a little off.
I'm going to focus
right?
on
Colors.
this beautiful
No, they were
thing right here.
reprints
What
of
do we got
the
here?
original molds.
Look at that.
That line's actually gaining juice, though.
Some of the vehicles are really good.
Really?
And rare.
Really? Because nobody wanted them.
They did a Night Force Hydrofoil
Oh.
Yeah, that was really cool.
that
Yeah,
came
I always
incomplete
wanted that.
in
I
the
never.
box sometimes.
I got one that was incomplete in the box.
That's why I know the story.
I got
He
one.
bought one. Go ahead, tell the story.
Oh yeah, I
Now
bought
this
it.
is for what, Kerry? Tell everybody what it's for. It's a
It's
Night
the
Force.
Night Force Hydrofoil. It came out in probably early to mid 2000s, I'd
Yeah.
say.
Oh, new.
Yeah, it was new. It was probably, and it came out in Toys R Us, but it was really an odd thing to find at the time. And when you came across it, I went through a couple of them, and each one was missing parts bags.
So did you?
Continuously.
build one?
No, tried to go back and at the time
Return.
they were on the shelf regularly, and then just like that, we're gone. After the holiday came, after Christmas, never
So
found one.
did you end up with
Nope,
one?
never got.
Because
Never
you
got
returned
one.
them.
Yep.
In retrospect, you wish you would have even kept the incomplete
He
one.
started
No.
Yeah, right.
I was going to say I probably could have done that, but I didn't realize it was
At the
gonna
time,
get-
it was
yeah,
just
I
going to
didn't.
be a shelf thing, and you
Yep.
could get a one.
It's cool because it's cool for collectors because they use the same molds as the stuff that we played with as kids, but they did cool things like make Night Force. They did a camo version of the Blue Cobra Rattler, which was super
Which
awesome.
is awesome. Which is in that line.
Yes, but G.I. Joe just wasn't hitting then,
It's,
you know.
unfortunately, Joe's having a slow spot right now with a lot of stuff. Okay, we're gonna take the hiss and move it out of the way. We
Guys,
some
if you have any
customers,
questions,
yeah,
we're just-
we're
I mean,
just
then there's
doing
the
a-
original
we're doing a
Night. There
podcast
also is the
and,
original Night Force.
which
Oh
is
my God!
Hydrofoil.
We'll get into
That
that
one.
next.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It wasn't a Night Force Hydrofoil that we're talking about. It was just a G.I. Joe Hydrofoil.
Oh,
So
okay.
they did the Night Force Hydrofoil back in the 80s.
That's right.
In the 2000s,
They did
it was
a
just a
regular one.
really cool,
Green.
the green, like
Yeah.
very military looking Hydrofoil. Yeah, that wasn't.
That's what it was. Wasn't
Yeah,
Night
it
Force.
wasn't Night Force. It came with two figures though that were like Night Force. It came with a beachhead with a black mask and black gear on him,
Cool.
and it came with a flint, I think, that had black
Unique
outfit.
to the set.
Yeah, just to
Oh,
that.
that fit in with
expensive
Yeah,
Night
they fit in
Force
with the
stuff.
Probably
theme.
high
yeah.
now.
They're,
Oh, they are.
really, really cool.
No doubt.
This is
It's the companion piece. To
Not
that.
as cool as
and
this though.
one of the most iconic pieces in the Joe line.
No bad.
And very sought after. Anytime I had one in the toy store, they lasted a few minutes.
Hold on
yeah.
one second.
Literally.
Does this not say Sears on it? Oh yeah, there it does, right down
Yeah,
at the
right
bottom.
They all say it somewhere.
The green one doesn't. I don't remember seeing it there.
I think it's printed on the bottom of the box.
I think.
Somewhere.
Weird. Huh.
Let's
I don't know enough about the Sears stuff to.
look at the white
In-depth
on
about
this
it.
box.
That's
Just
so
compare-
white.
Look
Yeah.
at the,
It's like it's fresh off the shelf.
Yeah.
Wow. It shows you, we think we have a
We did
Mickey
not
one.
just print that.
No, yeah, that's got the tape on it from
Again.
84.
Look at the art.
Yeah.
The art is amazing, man.
Wow.
I would kill to have one of those paintings.
Oh,
There you go.
oh without
Look how
a doubt.
nice that is. Where are those paintings?
A
has
guy we know has
Yeah.
Mike?
Some
Mike.
old dude in his house has them.
Yeah, some old dude in his house. Let's talk. Tell me about this, guys. What are we looking at?
Same deal. It's a
Yeah, you can roll
early
it out.
It's this a Mobat came out in '82, right?
Yeah.
The original one. It was the first GI Joe
Yeah.
tank, motorized battle
One of the
tank.
great.
Is this it right here?
Yes,
Yeah, it still
this
works,
is,
too.
This is the Mobat.
with all the pieces.
Well, it's
Still
not the
has
Mobat anymore, right?
Yeah, it's a Crimson
It's the
Attack.
cat, yeah.
Wow, look at the red dots on the tracks that they did that. That I'm assuming that's all factory that they took the time.
No, those
Those
are
are
to
plastic
hold.
sticking through.
That's to hold the track on. So
Oh,
the
and that's
original
locking
Mobat
into
when
it,
it first
yeah.
came didn't have that.
Nope.
It
The
didn't.
original
It's right,
Mobat
I
was a
played
rubber
with it.
track,
Yeah,
so
I
it would
played
rub
with that.
off.
Yeah.
So the next year they put these little nubs on it.
You
to-
can't
to
replace
keep
these
those.
tracks with.
Like you could. Now let me ask you: Did the later Mobats in green have this option?
Yeah,
Okay, because
All
Rob, my brother, played with Joe's. Those tracks fell off all the time.
yep, that was the very first run of them. They after the next year they started putting all those.
I
those
did not
little-
know that.
I
Something I just learned.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I
early
think-
Mobats. Are,
Earlier Mobats are just a
I have
solid
yet
wheel
to
without
see,
that.
I have yet
variant.
to see a variant.
no,
with
I
the
knew
tabs.
that. I didn't know they did the Mobat with the tabs.
I didn't know that.
Oh
either.
yeah, the Mobat comes with the tabs. You don't have a Mobat with tabs?
I don't
With
think I
these?
remember. No.
I've never
Are you
seen
sure?
a Mobat with
You
tabs.
think me either? I've always been
With the fall
yeah,
off
and I
ones.
believe they did. So
Really?
there's two versions.
I always thought the ones with the tabs were more.
Are you
probably
sure?
are.
I'm almost positive.
Irish.
Okay.
They probably are more
Rare.
There's probably more of them with
No,
the tabs.
I think there's more than with the
They
tabs.
probably are.
Really? I
Yeah,
always
'cause
get
they
them
probably
when
only
they
did
fall off.
non-tabs in
But-
'82.
But
I'm almost
was the
positive I had a
Mobat-
few of them with and without.
I'm gonna
You know
check.
what? It might be I never noticed.
You're talking so many years ago for me now. I'm
Right.
almost positive I would have had one with
I'm-
and without. I'm
I'm
pretty
going to
sure the
defer
tabs
to you
were
because I'm
regular.
going to say the second issue of the Mobat with the things is rare. For my
Hey, Joe fans,
could you let us know? Because I
Look
think
into
they're
that.
phasing it out by then, going to new vehicles.
maybe, but they still did mail-aways.
Well, that's a whole nother animal.
Yeah.
altogether.
They did, and they reprinted this a couple times too. You know,
Okay, all right. Again, look at that box art. Look at this. Did this come from the one owner?
yeah.
Same guy.
Same guy. Beautiful. Doesn't get any cleaner than
Let's
that.
do a little spin on the catwalk here. Let's just spin that around so we can get a good shot of all the
Go,
angles.
Joe.
Yeah.
Go, Joe.
Nobody ever says that.
That thing has only ever probably run one time.
I didn't know. I didn't.
Let's
I
take a
did.
look at that price. Or no, is that an item number?
What is
That's for the row in the aisle.
That's where it was in the
wow.
warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a warehouse
Yeah.
tag.
You can't make that up on a fake box.
Well,
Wow. So we are looking at.
He even put all the stickers in the exact place you should have.
So here's
You
something.
remember as a kid, you never
You
would have
did.
done
You put
that.
it wherever
but-
you wanted.
but-
Yeah.
very hard to find GI Joe piece, even on the regular Mobat.
Yeah.
Yes.
This stupid gun comes off.
Which
And
has
they
made
always
no
got
sense.
lost.
Yeah. Rob had it 5 minutes. And these
I wanna
handles
get a shot
break
of that. Your
sometimes,
giant
don't they?
handles in the way.
Not really.
No, I've
No.
seen a
What does
couple
this
of them
say?
would have broke. And this was what's unique about this. What people don't know. Here's the.
That's the on and off switch.
On and off
forward
switch,
back.
Forward, back.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
And then if you turn this, oh no, you
Yeah.
turn this
Yeah,
and
you
it
turn
goes
that,
left and
it
right.
turns to left and right.
Now, what's funny is they've got there's no real tank commander here. They just used a Crimson Guard. Yeah, no tank pilot.
You can actually tell the year this came out because of that, right?
Yeah.
Crimson Guard was probably 84,
I think
85.
so. 84.
One of
I
the
think
great
84. It's
figures
been
too of the
so
line.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, a minty Crimson
Oh, 84
Guard.
is probably the for me,
highlight?
the highlight.
Yeah.
That's when I love
It
the
was for
military
Joe,
82
too.
and 83,
It was for
and then
Joe.
just that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The guys from 84.
Well,
just, oh my
we
God.
disagree on something. I would love to get Kerry's.
And then when Top Gun came out and the Tomcat was all over the place and Joe printed out the Sky Striker,
yeah, well, that's a great
everybody
toy.
wanted.
Love my Sky Striker. Here's something that I'd like to get your opinion on. Justin and I had a conversation recently, and I guess because I was already leaving toys,
Yeah,
and I played with Joe Stu, my brother.
yeah.
Sitting at the table messing with him. I am a big fan of the simplicity of the first Snake Eyes.
Oh yeah,
and
he's
I love him.
my favorite.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you,
My man.
And Justin, because of when he played with them, and
I don't know what you're talking about.
the Wolf,
Right.
compared to the initial Snake Eyes. We were talking about it, and you said you love the first one, straight arm, the classic, but you and Rob both you love the second version more.
As
Well,
a,
it comes with the wolf, right?
The Wolf.
Well, that's
sword.
why
as
it's
a
cooler.
child, I did.
Okay.
I
Do you remember that
didn't
conversation?
become a. I didn't
We
become
just
a,
had it like a week ago.
Are
I
you
didn't become a
certain?
fan.
I
for that
am.
until
Do
the
you
young
not
adult.
feel that way?
No,
How do you feel?
the first Commando version is my favorite.
Okay, then I could be wrong. It could have been Rob.
Is that
who's-
the commando? Is
it
that a
might have
V?
been-
yeah,
Hold on, is
absolutely.
that V1 or V3?
V1.
Okay.
I'm a V1 guy.
I
You're a
way
V1.
prefer V1.
Okay, my mistake. Then it was my brother
I
Who wants the one
understand
with
why V2
Well, me too.
is loved, though.
But the
Because the
simplicity-
visor's awesome, the grenades
The
are
sword.
awesome, the sword is
The
awesome.
wolf. The wolf.
V1 is my Snake Eyes.
It is a true
If I was going to
commando.
get a tattoo of Snake Eyes,
It's
it
that
would
one.
be V1.
Okay, so that's my
Yeah, that's not
my
me.
bad. Then it was Rob.
Okay.
Because we're always talking
Yes.
about which
Or I
one-
might have said why.
I think he was a little
V2
more
was
background with the V1. I think once he put the
How
visor,
nice
I
looking.
think
I love
that turned him into a primary character. I think the first one it was a little so simplistic as a child.
which I love.
I do too. As an
yeah.
adult, I like the idea of him.
I went through about 4 of them. Boy, do I wish I had them carded. Rob did. The thumbs always broke. On
Yeah.
those straight arms.
Yep,
Yep.
that's a big thing with that.
Many had taped hands
Yep.
in our house.
Yeah, no.
One of the things that of the V1 is that I love the head sculpt.
Oh
The
yeah,
goggles,
such a cool and the
it's
mask, the
the
solid
ma-
mask,
yeah,
the
man,
whole bunch of-
and the legs. The boot kind of extends out
Yep.
a little, which is just so. Yeah, that would be my brother who loved the wolf. I understand why V2 gets a lot of juice. I need keys. Okay.
All right, so I'll talk. I guess.
Yeah, Kerry, talk to me.
Now we're gonna get into these things. Look at the color of this thing.
Dude, what even is this?
Oh
How
my
pretty is
goodness.
this thing?
So this is like talk about the time. You could tell times were changing when you started to print in bright. Now these I never really liked.
We're
too
gonna
much,
hold off on the
actually.
green guys, right? We're gonna
Yeah.
talk about this one.
These I never. This was the ARAH assault right here. Now the Dreadnoks was a really cool idea. They were just this band of outlaw thugs that were like for hire. They were all just
Living in the
mercenaries.
Louisiana swamps.
And they all were just really cool, like that classic biker gang kind of.
Lots of whips and chains and flamethrowers.
Yep, all that. Always fought with obscure weapons. Never a machine gun. Always like a chainsaw or something.
Yeah.
But these were some of their vehicles that were exclusive to them for Sears. They had a few vehicles that came out for them that were odd stuff anyway. You know, they had the Thunder Machine, all kinds of unique things like that.
So we're looking for the keys.
For the store. I'm gonna let you guys keep carrying. I'm gonna help you local.
Are we talking about Dreadnoks now?
Yeah, we're talking about, you know, first off, how the colors were just, oh my God. But,
Yeah, guys. So
but they're hard to find,
yes,
and you never come across them, ever, especially boxed.
this
And-
was the final Sears exclusive set.
And not that many people went for it. I mean, it really was. It's just one of those things now that you have to want as a serious.
I love
collector.
the idea of the Dreadnoks.
That's what I was just saying.
I just didn't like the color
I was
scheme.
just saying the same thing. I said they're really cool, unique. They always fought with such cool, unique weapons like chainsaws
Chainsaws
and
and blades.
flamethrowers. Yep, instead
We
of
found the keys. They were in the Joe case because Justin went in there
Oh,
and grabbed
cool.
something.
There you go.
and you know, and also unique with their characteristics, and they're like that classic biker gang kind of group, and all their vehicles.
Yeah, I
are
dug
very
the fact that they were a
unique
biker
and-
gang.
and weird vehicles, and then these they just incorporated on reprinting
Right.
them, but gave them
Redone vamp
color
and
of
Ram.
the time. You know, they put
The colors are just come on.
I mean, they put them in. This is '86. I mean, that's in '86. That's everyone had that hair color right there. That's
No, nobody playing with GI Joe. Hey, Paul Brown, you want to come on camera?
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna stay up there. We found
that
them
box
by
is
the
also
shows.
really
I'm
nice
glad we
too.
found them.
Yeah, that box
that's
is
my
beautiful. I mean, it's just how square that box is, and how light it still is. I mean,
It's pretty white. It's not as white.
This is probably the
Wait, did this come with?
I mean, it's so too. I mean,
Two?
talk
It came
about
with two
yeah, all of them did.
Oh.
Look, special changes color when exposed to the sun. That's another 80.
Oh, the Zartan.
Oh, that's so
yeah. So it all came from like the Zartan
Yeah.
school of things. This is one of the best GI Joe vehicles ever.
It certainly
the
is.
Stinger was
The
fantastic.
vehicle's cool. Are you guys digging
No,
the colors?
not at all.
Well, I
but
have
it's
to
just
say,
rare.
so the colors of these, it is weird because they are a different color scheme. They're close. I mean, they still have the light green and dark, but this has light green and has none of the red on it, which would have been cool if they would have incorporated
Stuck
a
to
little
that
bit
color
more
scheme.
of the color
It's like
scheme.
this Dreadnought Ground Army and the Dreadnought Air Army had their own colors.
It doesn't
yeah.
seem like, and it's not like it's camo that makes sense. The colors aren't exactly.
You know, I think they were probably trying to like do a thing where
You gotta show me.
they were like, so because they were kind of like punk rock, And that was the vibe. They were
Yeah,
like punk
it was-
rock bikers.
yeah.
They probably were like, oh, they spray painted their own vehicles, and that's just probably their version of.
I gotta tell you, there's something
Bright
just
colors
kind
are
of
appealing
cool
to
about
kids,
it.
though,
Yeah,
too.
man. I
I mean-
understand military wise, but I'm looking at it and I see it's very cool.
It's a fun looking toy. We like these as an adult because they're serious looking toys. It's black and red with a crimson guard shooting a missile out. These are fun looking when you get
That's
them.
just
Especially when
mean
you-
looking.
Exactly. So we see that as an adult, and it's just, it's a tank. Come on. This, as a kid, is probably appealing because of the colors and because it's a motorcycle and a vamp that looks kind of like
It's a motorcycle with a huge. This was so cool when it first came
Especially,
out.
it's got a minigun on it.
Yeah, when it first came out, the Ram was awesome.
The Ram itself was just a great toy. I mean, that's like.
G.I. Joe really made some great stuff, man. And I think that's it for the Sears exclusives. I think they stopped doing Sears exclusives around after that.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't remember anymore. Not even late. And by 88, 89, I was done with G.I. Joe anyway. I don't know if they did any in the 90s. I don't think so.
I
they did
don't
some
know.
mail-away stuff.
They did, but I don't know enough about it in the
but not
90s.
Sears.
Once you get,
I
beyond
wonder
that.
why. I'd like to do some research. Why Sears was done.
You know what? It probably was just marketing deals and stuff. They probably just moved on. They probably just had newer lines that they hired on. Because I'm sure there's Sears exclusive stuff that they got, but they probably were just a different toy line.
Yep.
They probably just didn't see much left in this.
And G.I. Joe, the pinnacle was 84 probably, so sales are probably down.
Yeah.
So
once you got to the late 80s, it started to G.I. Joe itself started to change. So.
Yep.
Still incredible stuff. I mean, just such a cool collectible toy.
So this was our first from Retro to Right Now. If you guys have anything to say, any comments, please put them in the thing. Ask us any questions. We will respond to them here. And we're going to be doing this once a week. We're just going to pull some cool stuff from the store or anything that comes in that's interesting. Maybe we'll even do teasers, like pictures, and say, hey, we're going to talk about this. Or if you guys think there's anything in the store that you like, hey, guys, please tell us about this. Or, what do you think about this toy line? We're into it, man. Right? We'll sit here and talk about anything.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. One thing I think we're going to probably do is have a conversation because of the missile command. I want to do a thing and have a cardboard conversation because there are some toys. Some of the rarest toys out there is stuff that was made from cardboard, like that early bird set, like the background of that mail away, like this. If anybody knows what this is, say it in the comments. We're going to talk about maybe next week. We're going to talk about cardboard and plastic and collectability.
Star Wars and cardboard.
Thanks for watching our first from Retro to Right Now. We're going to do it once a week.
I give you the wrong price.
That's it, man. Talk about G.I. Joe. It was a good G.I. Joe conversation. Thanks, Irish.
Later.
My bad.